Hello and welcome. This is our first session in the AirStudio webinar series, the future of studio management. There should be like some kind of soundbite about there, bump, bump, bum underneath or something. And this one's all about your wish list. What do you need in a studio management system? And we're hoping we've got it all with you. I've got it all in AirStudio. So I'm Peter, and with me today is Angie. So
Hello.
I am fairly new to the AirStudio crew. I'm their new sales guy. I've been involved with AirStudio in some way since the beginning, and I'm also an active user of the platform with my photo studio up north in Canada. Now, anyone who's had contact with AirStudio, I'm sure will know Angie. If she's on this side for me too, for the rest of you that are watching. She's a co-founder, also an active user of AirStudio with her role at Stuart Rogers. So, sorry, she said hello already, but she can say hello again.
Hello, nice to see some of you. I noticed a few names here. Thank you for joining
Perfect.
us.
So together we're going to give you a quick view of what we've built here at Air Studio. It's a platform designed specifically for school photographers, and it's built by school photographers. That's the glory of it. Today isn't about a long demo. It's more about an overview. We want you to start thinking about your wish list, as I mentioned at the beginning, what your perfect studio management system would be. And our hope is that when we see you before or at SPAC, that we want to be able to say that we've checked everything off the list and that you want to start working with us.
Exactly. As Peter mentioned, we're going to walk through AirStudio's key features, but we want to know what have been your biggest challenges this season. Is it scheduling, communication, tracking equipment, keeping everything organized? We want you to imagine what it would take to make those challenges appear effortless with AirStudio. Peter's going to kick us off today. Our demo is focused on key features. If there's anything we missed or feature you want to see in more detail, please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A and we'll address all inquiries at the end.
Exactly. All right. Well, without further ado, we're going to jump right into the webinar. And as we said, our intent is to walk through all the key features as we continue to work through this whole webinar series, because there's going to be a bunch more between now and SPAC. We'll dig more into the weeds on how various functions work, how you control them. But today we're looking at a little bit more of a helicopter view to visualize how this could exist in your studio environment and how it differs from whatever system or systems you're currently using. So where I'm going to start today is on job management and organization. So everyone bear with me as I share my screen. And for those of you who are first jumping in, this will be your first look at AirStudio. I'm hoping there's a few of you that have seen it before. Angie, can you see the screen?
Yes, I can.
Excellent. So this part is very much the core. Sorry, I'm starting on the schedule. That's what the system opens to when you first log into AirStudio. And you'll see the login page as we go a little bit further. But the very much the core of AirStudio is this section with the organization. It gives you a single place to plan, organize, track every job, along with the organizations that you're doing those jobs for. Everything within AirStudio is very interconnected. Whether we're talking about doing a job for a school, a commercial client, individual or wedding portrait client, sports association, you can keep all of that data relating to that client in one place. You're not dealing now with all these scattered spreadsheets that I'm sure all of us started with, lost folders on one computer and one directory. It's like a command center for your company. So let's take a look here and use one of these as an example to kind of show you what we can do with it. First, you can see here the list of some of the organizations that are entered in our demo one, but I'm going to jump into one that we've prepared for you, which is Maplewood Elementary School here. As we first enter in, first you're going to see the fact that we've got a few jobs booked for this school, this organization. You can see all the details about the organization, what's its status, what kind of an account is it. You can also see any kind of custom fields that you want to add, and these are just that, custom for you. They're customized for, you can customize them to organizations or to other components of the system as well. You can also see all the contacts for that school, anybody that you deal with at that school. And if that wasn't enough, you can also share information through the AirStudio portal. I'm going to show you a little bit more about that because with this you can drop in files. Here I'm going to go into the shared area. You can see we've created a folder for all the different things that are two-way communication. Here we've got data files, we've got exports or services. We've also got contract renewals if you wanted to utilize our e-signing. And you can have any number of things that are communicated in a secure method back and forth. So why don't I show you a little bit more about what if somebody was to log in. Let's go take a look. Let's say Abigail was going to log in from Maplewood Elementary and see what she was going to see. So we'll go in here to Abigail and she's going to log in. So first thing Abigail gets to see is, are there any jobs coming up? Obviously, that is important to some of the subject or some of the context of the school, not as much to others. If you're somebody, and I'm jumping a little bit ahead, that is involved with subjects and subjects group, maybe your seniors, they can see just how many people have booked on any given job. But the real guts of this portal comes into the various file sharing. So in here, you can see the same file that you saw on the administrative side. You can load the data files in for getting ready for certain jobs. You can sign your contract. You can see samples for approval. You can also go in and take a look at what your admin export is, download that from here. And if you get some of these schools that are a little bit more technologically, challenged, shall we say, you can also skip this part and simply give them a download or an upload link for stuff that they're going to upload to you. So it's very much a very user-friendly system and allows ongoing back and forth communication as you're going through. All right, I'm going to go back to the admin and then I'm going to pass this over to Angie for the next portion. Angie, the floor is now yours.
Thank you, Peter. The next topic we want to cover is regarding employee management and scheduling. Scheduling your employees can be an interesting challenge. AirStudio makes it simple to assign your staff, track availability, and manage your jobs that may require some finesse. We feel that the key to managing employees starts with creating the various roles or titles each person might be assigned to on a job. So every school photographer may have multiple levels of photographers or photographers assigned to very specific departments or types of services that you offer. You can create as many roles as you want with AirStudio, and when you have new employees, you assign those roles to your employees, and they can have, again, as many roles. If they might be a lead photographer, but also maybe sometimes a shoot assist, they can have all of those roles attached to their profile. This all then connects back to your jobs. When you add a job to the schedule, you add staffing and you decide which type or roles are required to successfully manage that job. So when you start scheduling your employees, the system will only show you employees that assume that role, and you should be able to complete your schedule very easily. If an employee has requested time off or is already scheduled on another job, you will receive an alert so you can review the conflict. Beyond that, there are tools and reporting systems you can use to assist you with scheduling. First, at the top here, there is the unassigned staff link. This will apply a nice filter to quickly see any jobs with unassigned employees. So you might want to select start and end date here.
Sorry, I'm jumping around too much on you. Unassigned staff, no, we're in reports, right?
Yep. So you want to make sure you don't miss anything. This filter can be very useful when assigning your staff each week. Also, like if you select a start and end date, you say, I'm looking at unassigned staff. As soon as you add staff to that job, it gets removed from your view so that you are kind of knocking out the jobs that need staffing, and then you get all those staff and you can quickly go back to the other view. So and then we have employee hours you can run, which is the first report tab here. It's just, again, you can select a start and end date, run a report, and show your employee hours for that period of time. This is helpful. You make sure your people aren't going into overtime if possible, and just maybe hours are being distributed evenly for your employees. There's also, again, there's another unassigned employee report here, which is useful in case you receive, let's say, like a last minute job and you can select a date. You can even narrow it down to a specific role, and you'll see only employees who have not been assigned to jobs on that date. So you can quickly identify who you can reach out to and contact to see if they can take that job for you. And then lastly, you can run a role assignments report, which will show you a detailed report with the total number of staff required for each role on any given day. As school photographers, we usually have a max number of jobs or photographers that we know we can assign on a day. This report's going to help you see which days are fully booked and which days might be available for more work. So all of these tools help ensure optimal staffing and efficient operations across all of your jobs.
Excellent. Perfect. I'll take it back over. Sorry about me bouncing a little bit on you, Angie, when I wasn't in the right spots. All right. Next thing we're going to talk about is equipment management. So as you can guess, I'm driving, and so Angie wasn't able to move it when, yeah. But anyways, here we go. We're making our way through the webinar. That makes it interesting. It makes it very human, right? Equipment management, equipment tracking is one of the features that a lot of studios I talk to get the most excited about in AirStudios. Within this module of the platform, you can assign gear to specific jobs. You can assign them to specific people. You can track where everything is. You can flag maintenance and repairs. It doesn't matter whether you're managing, 5 cameras, dozens, or hundreds. You'll know where everything is and who's using it. Equipment management is obviously one of the biggest challenges of a high volume studio. And AirStudio has a very built-in, clean, simple method for always knowing what you got on hand. Who has all your expensive equipment? Who's it been assigned to? What are the equipment needs for any job that you're doing? Those kind of things. So first thing you'll see as you go into the equipment tab is all the various kits, as I call them. And, we call them bags in AirStudio. I'm used to calling them kits, so I got to get used to that. Long-term assignments that have already been handed out, what the next job is for that kit, who it's going to, what team they're on, and that's very valuable. We're not going to talk too much about that today, but AirStudio supports the idea of multiple studios so that you can keep things segregated where they're available. It also allows you to download or print QR codes or barcodes for the gear, easy identification for checking it in and out. Basically, if we take a step back, equipment management is built out from a list of items and item types. First, if we look at item types, you've got different things here, and these are lights, cameras, etc. They are the types of things that you're going to put in a collection of equipment. Then you get into the items themselves. Items themselves are going to consist of the various types. They're also going to consist of things that have serial numbers, some things that don't have serial numbers, like miscellaneous. And then from there, you're going to add it into a bag. Now, all this, of course, is happening both in virtual and reality, but a bag is then a collection of different items to put in and hand over to your photographer. You see over here, we have camera bag number 1, which Cassie Ridman has. If we take a look inside camera bag number 1, we've got all the different pieces of equipment that go in there. We've got serial numbers, if it's items that have serial numbers. We can autofill those and we can build and adjust them as we see fit. And as we build a bag, we can rebuild additional copies of the bag with different sets of equipment in it. So from there, you can then take that and have a long-term assignment to assign that bag to someone. You can see here, we've got a quick view of all the serial numbers and things along that lines. And you're off to the races. Cassie's got her regular kit all the way through. But if Cassie then suddenly needs a background kit, for example, to do a sports job or a group job, that can be ascertained within the job itself and then assigned directly to her. Simple, right? Because, equipment management is simple. Basically, again, not to get into a huge amount of the weeds, but everything is based on however much interconnectivity you would like to have. As I mentioned, the job itself can have a requirement of equipment. It can ask for that to happen, and then that job that equipment can be assigned based on it. You can also do various management of equipment here with very simple check in and check out. Maybe I want to go and check this bag out on this point. I can scan it. I can search which bag it is that I'm going to hand out. Oops, wrong one. Bag number one. And those bags that can be checked in and checked out. We also have the ability to do repairs. You can see here we've got this one light that is out for repair. If I want to add a new repair, it's all right here. I can scan it and send that bag out or send that item back out for repair. Very as simple as something that is as integrated as equipment is to our everyday workflow can be. So I hope that you guys see, as someone who's a bit of an equipment junkie sometimes, how valuable that can be. With that, I'm going to pass it back over to Angie to talk about the next section.
Perfect. All right, so moving on, we're gonna cover the tasks module. With tasks, consistency is key. These are your projects, your tasks, your service items, all of that. And it's important that you don't miss anything when processing a job and that you don't forget to reach out to a school to re-sign a contract or request your photo dates. You can really create tasks for anything in airstudio. You can attach them to organizations or subjects or jobs. Today, we're going to focus mostly on adding tasks to jobs since that is a key piece to company success. As school photographers, we know there are multiple tasks that are due based on offset dates before or after a job. If the job date changes, it can be challenging to reassign all of those due dates based on a new event date. If you're working with multiple spreadsheets and other workflow systems, with AirStudio, once you edit your job date, all of the tasks automatically update as well. So that's not something you even have to think about. One thing we like to point out about AirStudio in comparison to other workflow systems is that AirStudio creates a single vertical view of all of your tasks that are due in the order that they are due. So it doesn't matter if it's a task related to an organization or a job or just a project, it will appear on your list in the order that it is due. You can track any job to see where it's at, or even an employee to see if they are meeting their deadlines or if they might have tons of overdue tasks and possibly need support. So you can also create task templates for different types of jobs to ensure that every shoot follows the same process, because that is typically what will happen. Once the template is added to a job, you can then customize the notes and the details that are specific to that school or job. The best part about all this is that when you copy that job for the next year, all of those details and notes will copy with it. It keeps your team on track, reduces errors that could cost you time and money. So not only do the tasks copy with the job, you also have your staffing that copies with the job and your equipment that copies with the job. So everything is connected all in one place for you, makes it very easy for you to go year by year.
Exactly. I think you guys can all see just how strong that could be as far as organizing your day to day and allowing your particular people to come in and see any components of what they're supposed to do on any given day. Thank you, Angie. All right, the next one, and I think the last, no, it's not the last one. Sorry, I jumped ahead. The next one I'm going to do is on notifications. So notifications are something to enable that you are sure that there's no more forgotten missteps or forgotten deadlines. There are notifications of automatically keep your team, your schools, your subjects, everybody updated on any number of reminders and notifications. You can advise your staff for upcoming job assignments and request confirmations. You can indicate when equipment is ready for pickup or drop off, or when it has to be checked in. Advise schools about their upcoming shoots. Notify them when images are live. Reach out regarding signing agreements. Confirm, remind, provide details to customers on upcoming shoots. Let staff know about assigned tasks. Let them know when any of those tasks are late. And we've already preloaded the environment in AirStudio with a plethora of templates that you can use and simply edit for your uses. So inside the tool here, you can see where you've got all the different components of what you have. So here's an employee job assignment. How is it being sent? Is it SMS? Is it being sent manually or getting automatic? You've got all the different variables within a template that you can add or change. And then you've got the email template itself. This one's pretty plain because this one's an internal job assignment one, but let's go take a look at something going out to an organization session book. This is a organizational session book. You can add in your logos. You can add in any kind of detail that you want, along with detail about the type of session that it is. And if it's going out to your end user, you can pretty it up as much as you want. And as I said earlier, use what we've already put in there for you and just change it for your own uses, or you can build your own along the way. It's a very versatile and powerful tool for helping you build your business as well as your efficiencies all the way through. I will pass it back over to Angie for some advanced scheduling.
Yes. So this is the final feature I'm covering today, before we wrap it up and get to the Q&A after Peter talks about our roadmap. So client scheduling can be known to make or break your season. AirStudio's advanced scheduling tools give you complete control and flexibility. Whether you've got complete data, some data, or no data at all, we offer multiple options for self-booking or bulk scheduling. For the lucky photographers out there who receive complete data from their schools, you can use AirStudio to handle all of your email and SMS marketing, to prompt bookings and increase participation with fully automated systems. Basically, you set up your campaigns when you create your group. You decide out of however many campaigns are offered, how often you want to email your group, and it will just do the work for you. It will only email the subjects who have not booked their appointments, and it will just continue to email them until the last date that they can be photographed. So it's really a set it and forget it system, which is amazing. And then we have a couple different options for having clients self-book or you book for them. So if you have a school or a job where you just book the appointments for them, very easy to do. You set up a job, we call it auto scheduling. You point the job to the group and you hit go, and it will book all of those appointments for you based on however many photographers you have assigned to that job. And then another option we have that is available is you can just share a booking link so subjects can add themselves to your system while you collect their data. So multiple ways that you can allow your subjects to book appointments. And then, as Peter mentioned, notifications. So as soon as they book, they're receiving emails and or text messages to confirm the booking, remind them of their appointments, or even make changes. It's very easy for your subjects to cancel their own appointments or switch to a new session package if they want to upgrade or downgrade if you offer multiple options. All very easy to do on their own, which will help reduce phone calls and emails for your customer service team. We also love to talk about no-show protection that can be customized for any school or group. You get to decide if you want to charge a fee if a subject changes their appointment last minute or within 24 hours or 48 hours. You choose what that duration of time might be. And maybe they just don't show up. Like, none of us want our photographers to be sitting there and appointments don't show up. So thanks to AirStudio, it collects payment when they book, and automatically will charge them if they don't show up or don't make their appointment. So it's going to help manage your resources efficiently while also supporting your operations. It's a wonderful tool, promise.
Definitely. All right. Well, we've shown you some of the highlights. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's coming down the pipe along the way. We are an actively developing platform. We've got staff engineers that are continually building on, creating new features. So some of the big ones that are coming in the very near future is the completion of our mobile app. The mobile app is something for your staff to be able to check their shifts, be able to see things and access them on their phone. They can do it today, but it's done through a browser window, whereas with the mobile app, they'll be able to do it with much more ease and simplicity. It's right now in beta mode. In fact, I've got it on my phone right now and have been testing it. There's also, in conjunction with that, further integration to the timesheets. Timesheets are something we didn't go into today, but we will on future webinars, where you can track all your hours that your staff are doing. They can also then, of course, be they're already connected to the various jobs, which allows you an amazing level of profit checking. What are your actual physical costs? Because you can have everything relating back to the job. We're doing an overhaul of the user interface. That's something that's, pretty much ongoing as we go. Every time we do advancements, we try and make sure that we're making it look as nice, be as intuitive as possible. And we're always open to any kind of suggestions along that way. We're also developing an even more robust CRM that relates back to linkages to e-commerce companies to allow your people to go in and be able to answer questions, link directly to shopping carts online, and be able to answer questions all in one place. We're at the final, while we're talking about that, we're at the final stages of an integration with Got Photo. Right now, jobs created in Got Photo can be pushed into airstudio, and we're doing the testing on that right now. We're excited to be able to announce and show that to Got Photo users when we are all together at SPAC. And we're also looking very forward to integrating with other e-commerce companies to make those workflows even more streamlined all the way through. So I'll pass it back to you, Angie.
Yeah, so now you've seen what airstudio can do. We want to shift to you. What are your challenges? What's missing from your current workflow? What would make next season smoother or less stressful for you?
Yeah, so we'd love you to start your own wish list. Think of it as a Dream Studio toolkit. Write down the features or automation or fixes that would make your workflow perfect. What I'd like to, and I'm really hoping to do, is when we have a chance to meet at SPAC, our goal is to be able to check everything off that list and have you look and say, oh, it's perfect. Where do I sign up? I am going to send you a template. You don't have to use it, but I'm going to send you a template tomorrow morning or later on today of the wish list. And I'd love to get any kind of feedback that you have, because in addition to even just the wish list, we need to hear from you as to what we've done right, what can we do better, and also feel free to reach out so that we can get together and we can show you in more detail. So now let's just check and see if anyone has any questions. And I only see one right now. Does that mean we answered all your questions? Is it possible to add accounts and custom fields into AirStudio from Excel and an SQL database? Yes, it is very possible. There's imports for organizations. There's imports for the custom field. The custom fields can be brought in with the import. I'm not sure on SQL database, but I can certainly find out. Angie, do you know the answer to that?
I do not.
Okay, we'll find that out for you, Bradley. And but for sure with Excel we can do it. And in a lot of our onboarding cases, as we're bringing people on, we also will do that initial imports for them. So there we go. And Brad already said he can export it to Excel. No problem. All right, next question. Oh, I think I kind of answered this one already. We've got a Captura user that was asking if they can link up with their galleries. Yes and no. They can link up. You can bring in the Captura gallery link into your subjects. And from that, those subjects, your staff can then go straight to the gallery. It's not bi-directional at present. Captura is still working on the release of public API. And as soon as they do that, then we're planning to be able to, enhance that integration even further. Yes, same question or same answer, Brad. Brad asked about, can you import photographers' equipment from a database? Again, the SQL, I don't know the answer to. Excel, yes, you can. There's a couple of them that we would probably have to conduct for you right now. Currently, we have the schools that are in a user accessible import. and some of the other components of it are, but there are some that we'll have to do for you at the back end. Hopefully that answers your question, Brad. Is there any other questions from the studio audience? No integration, Brad, again, no integration currently with Timestone, but happy to reach out and do something with them. I know they have a good degree of API exposure already, so being able to link with them is very possible. And I know there's an awful lot of Timestone users out there, so that's something we're very open to. I'll leave the floor for just a second. Overall calendar view for scheduled shoots. Yes, there is. I'll even show it to you, sir. Schedule. If you go into the schedule, this is our default view. You can obviously see what the range is, and you can change to a calendar, which is a day, a week, or a month view. And if somebody comes in, if you are logging in and one of your staff is logging in, they will only see what they're scheduled for. And if you're an administrator, then you can see what everybody is scheduled for. I think that's it. I'll give you guys a second in case there's any other questions. All right. So I did want to also bring up, we're of course going to be at SPAC. We'd love to connect one-on-one, go through your wish list that you're going to create. We do have a link already for booking meetings. We've already got a couple meetings booked. Now, those guys are definitely planning ahead. There will be limitations on it based on the amount of time there is at SPAC. As you know, that week there goes very fast. And but we'd love to connect with you even before SPAC, so you can get proactive, we can get started, and then we can go through. I'm going to send a follow-up with a little survey as to how we did, along with a link to book a demo, and as well the link for the wish list and to book at SPAC. Oh, sorry, Angie. You were supposed to say that, and I jumped right over it.
That's okay. I was noticing there's a chat asking about integration with calendars. Can the calendar sync with Outlook calendar or others?
You can download things currently with Outlook. I'm not sure if we've got a synchronization with it. We have some synchronization with Google. Google's a little bit fun to deal with, but we have it in a few places, and we're continuing to develop it. Also, we're looking at an interface app that will pull the information from one and then push it into other calendars. We can talk about that in more detail.
When employees are assigned to jobs, they do get an email confirmation once the job is confirmed, and it will have an attachment with that file that you can download so that you can sync it with your own calendar.
There we go. That's even a better answer than I gave. There's another one here. Is there an app for photographers and employees? Yes, there is. The app is in beta form right now. We expect about a month, and then we'll have that released. In the future, can we go over users and how they interact with airstudio? Yes, but you got to come back for one of the next ones for that. And what else do we got? We got all these questions now.
How do employees enter availability? So they can request time off through airstudio. There is also a way you can enter. I don't think we currently have exactly like this employee is only available after 3 o'clock. We don't currently have that capability, but it is something we're looking into. But they can definitely request time off, which will show you that conflict if you try to schedule them on a date that they are off.
Yep. And we'll go into some of that even in more detail on future webinars. Looking for from a group chat function. That's something we don't have, but I think that's a great idea. That's something that I think we can certainly bring forward. So.
Yeah, it's fairly easy to send other employees or contacts notifications through airstudio, but like Peter said, we don't currently have a group chat available.
All right. I think that's all we have for today. I'd like to thank you all for joining. There was a good amount of people here. We were very excited to see the response and looking forward to others. We have a Facebook page. Please jump on and follow. We add on information from our newsletter, as well as different blogs and updates and any kind of changes onto the system. So please go on there and check it out. We're building out the a LinkedIn page as well. And as I said, you'll get an email from me later today or tomorrow morning with all the follow-up information. And Angie, is there anything else you wanted to add?
No, I think we covered it. So, no, just appreciate everyone joining and please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions.
Exactly. All right. Thank you, everybody, for your time. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the week. And we're looking forward to getting in touch and then in January seeing you. It's back.